Hello movie lovers, movie review are back. Now I will be review a movie in 2020 that was the 1917. Sam Mendes WWI Saga more thrilling than thoughtful. The one-shot intensity of his battle tale overshadows any ideas the filmmaker might have about war itself. Film designed to look like one uninterrupted take, whether they're really one long shot or just cleverly edited to appear that way, can be sweeping and engrossing or merely a novelty. At the worst, they inspire sentiments similar to what a friend of mine once wrote on social media. "Hey directors, I didn't buy a ticket to your movie so I can be your director." The premise of corrupting a feature that appears to be a single camera movement gets a boost from Sam Mendes' 1917, which follows the British soldier during WWI on a life or death mission through no man's land to the front lines. Under the guidance of legendary cinematographer Roger Deakins, the camera work leads to movement of genuine suspense and real-time horror, with only occasional instance of gimmickry. Bookended by sequences involving people running through crowded trench of soldiers, the obvious lack of tracks for the moving camera adding to the physical burden of Deakins and his camera operators, who had to shoot these scenes handled. 1917 gives its very linear plot a palpable sense of immediacy by almost never stopping its forward momentum. We open in a tranquil field in which napping lands Corporals Blake, Dean Charles Chapman, Game of Thrones, and Scoville George Mackey, Captain Fantastic, are awakened and sent to report to their commanding officer, who has a mission for them. A massive mobilization of British troops, including Blake's brother, are unknowingly heading into a German trap. With Talpan lying down, it's up to the two young soldiers to traverse dangerous ground and physically deliver the order to stop the battle from happening. And then they're up and running through barbed wire and craters, bombed out towns and elaborate tunnels. When our heroes are not directly under fire, every lull in the action is merely a prelude to the next catastrophe, which boosts the state of tension throughout. Between the unexpected bursts of violence in the script by Mendes and co-writer Christy Wilson Cairns, and fact that most of the mission is being presented in what appears to be actual time, 1917 offers few opportunities for the audience to excel. As such, the movie is more successful as a thriller than as a thoughtful examination of horror and its horrors. Mendes seems less interested in bigger ideas about the nightmare of battle and its effects on his characters than he is in Hitchcockian and audience manipulations. There is certainly nothing wrong with that, but it does differentiate the film from earlier WWI tales like Path of Glory and Gallipoli, or Le Grand Illusions, which use the conflict as a way to discuss class or military injustice or the last gaps of the European aristocracy. 1917 is certainly a technical marvel, not just for Deakins but also for the brilliant sound work, visual effects, and Lee Smith's editing, which hides the cuts that would have broken the one-take spell. If there is one element that doesn't work here, it's Thomas Newman's score, which tends to lay it on two takes, particularly during a third act sequence in the ruins of a French village. But the crap on the display doesn't take away from McKay and Chapman performances. Their exhibitions of bravery, terror, loyalty, determination, and desperation are never overshadowed by the camera work. Mendes also works in a series of cameos for well-known actors to play advisors. In addition to Firth, the chain of command also includes Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Scott, Richard Madden, and Mark Strong. Each of these pros knows how to make an impression with just a few lines of dialogue, and each becomes an important story checkpoint along the way. 1917 will at some point make a great double feature with The Shall Not Grow Old, the 2018 documentary in which Peter Jackson took 100 years old war footage and colorized it, corrected the frame rate, and bumped it up to 3D to make the conflict more immediate for contemporary audiences. Both films give 21st century viewers a very different way of looking at World War I, and the technical wizardry behind each film's creation might be the tiniest bit more interesting than the actual content.